Hi everyone, I'm Anita Makharia. Welcome back. I say welcome back because in the last session where we were discussing about the characteristics of events, I had asked you all for a break and we had closed on the topic of characteristic of events. And now I welcome you back for our next session. Before we start the next session, just a small little reminder and small little introduction about myself. My name is Anita Makharia. I'm the founder CEO of a company called Shubkamnaye. Shubkamnaye, as an event management company, is into the business of creating experiences and celebrating happiness. I have a very young and a dynamic team who is passionate about event management and planning. And we try to make each and every event unique and memorable. And how we do it is by combining innovations with traditions and style with elegance. For us, our customers or our client satisfaction is of topmost priority, and we deliver it in such a way that our clients want Shubkamnaye again and again. And no event is actually complete without Shubkamnaye. The kind of verticals that we cater to are corporate events, that is awards and rewards ceremonies. You have your team outings, you have your seminars and conferences and product launches. We do weddings and other social events like milestone celebrations, theme parties, anniversary celebrations, etc. We also cater to school annual day and sports day events. We are predominantly into the BTL activation industry as well. That is, BTL is more of an offline campaigns. You'll be learning about all these campaigns also very soon. Our head office is in Bangalore and we have our branch offices in Pune, Hyderabad, and Chennai. We cater to pan India requirements with the team support that we have. And yeah, that's a small little brief about me. Without taking much of your time, let's move forward. In our last session, we learned about the characteristics of events as a service industry. Just a small recap of what we had learned there, because things just actually, it is each topic gets interrelated at times. So it is necessary that you all remember what was taught in the previous sessions as well. When we were speaking about event management and their characteristics, we had discussed that events are not worked in isolation as such, and event managers may not be actually involved right from the first step of determining what the goal and objective of that particular event may be. But of course, the final execution and assuring that this particular goal and objective is met at the end is the work of the event manager. And there were many characteristics which go into creation of an event. We had discussed that any event to be successful has a mixed component. There's no success formula. There's no a plus b the whole square is equal to a square plus b square plus 2ab. No, there's no such formula as such. It is just that it depends on how you understand the client brief, how innovative you get with it, how well you can conceptualize, how well you can coordinate and deliver the event. Each event is unique. That was one of the characteristics. The other characteristics that we spoke about were the creative process that can be involved in any particular event. How you need to have a very sound planning for the entire event, along with having absolute control over that event. You need to maintain personal interactions as well as take care of all the cultures, traditions, rituals which go into making any event. The size of the event does not really matter greatly, as long as what matters the most is the way you execute the event. The other objectives were always remember that adherence to the brand is one of the key factors of success, because you yourself are a brand, as well as you need to maintain the brand value and recognize the brand value of your client as well. One major important thing which most of the event managers fail to do is immediate follow-ups and have a post-event analysis. That is, again, have a brief and a debrief session and try to understand what went wrong or what can be better. This is what we had learned in our previous session. What we would be learning today would be to understand that every event has an impact. the impact is not only necessarily a monetary impact on you or on your client. There are other impacts also which can be the end result of every event. It could be a social and cultural impact, it could be an economical impact, it could be a political impact, an environmental impact, and a psychological impact. We would be learning about this in detail in today's session. As I told you, that event never works in isolation. Even you have a client who has a requirement, and then you have yourself as an event management company. There are various departments or various people from the client's end. There are many people and departments from your end. And then there are third party vendors or venues with whom a lot of coordination happens. So whenever you have to plan an event, what is the determining factor? The end objective or the goal? What happens from the birth of the idea to the final execution, that is achievement of that particular goal? That entire process leaves an impact. For you it is a monetary impact and a business model. Okay, you may get more business out of it if you've left a positive impact. Similarly, for the client it could be a psychological impact as well. And any event needs to predict this outcome very well. Hence, you need to predict, plan, and prepare yourself such that the desired impact, a desired positive impact of that particular event can be attained. I hope it is pretty clear till now. Having said that, we go to these impacts could be in a local area, it could be a short term impact, a medium term impact, or a long term impact. Short term impacts, which are generally during the pre event time, okay, your and the midterm impact generally is your during the event time or post the event. Okay, that is when it happens. Long term impacts are generally the impact which is felt after the event. What is very necessary is to have a positive impact always, be it social, be it cultural, be it any type of an impact. It is necessary that as an event management company, you are able to offer something new, something well. You need to push yourself out of the boundaries, make sure that all the inputs are taken in well, and you ensure that everything is being done the way it is meant to be done. For example, there are always new ideas and concepts which need to be worked upon. But at times, what happens is that these ideas do not really work. And at times, the impact is a positive impact or a negative impact. I would like to take you through the different kinds of impacts. As I mentioned, it is social and religious and cultural impacts, your economical impacts, political impacts, environmental impacts, and your psychological impacts. These impacts could be positive or negative. What I'm presenting to you here is just one of the slides which I had seen in. It is the source of this information is from Musgrave and Raj around 2009. The idea of taking this is just basically to give you a brief. What could be the positive impact of an event or what could be the negative impact of an event? When we talk about positive social impacts, what do we mean by social impacts? Social impacts are something which affects the society at large. Okay, so positive impact of any event, as I told you, that event industry is not a small industry. Okay, it gives jobs to many people. Unfortunately, in India, the events is one of the most unorganized sector. Though we are supposed to be the organizers, we do not have a very good organized structure for ourselves, and we've been not entertained as a big industry. Though we contribute to the economic growth really well. So this is one positive change that we need to bring about in our country at least. When I talk about positive impacts, as an industry, we are actually giving business to many people, both skilled and unskilled labor. Okay, if the event is a good sized event, we induce development and constructions. Long term promotional benefits are achievable both for the client in general, for ourselves, and as an industry also. This impacts the social life and well being of people around us. It enhances community development and gives more rise to employment opportunities. That is about the social impact. But what goes wrong is there is a little disruption in lifestyle. If the event is not well planned, say, for example, if I say a marathon event, in case of a marathon event, to a certain extent the traffic needs to be well planned in advance. The routes need to be decided. There should be proper allocation of personnel around to man the particular event. In case this is not done, it leads to a little bit of chaos. Residents are disturbed. There is a disruption in lifestyle. If the media is not covering it well, there's a lot of media impacts. It may lead to unequal issues as well, and risks. There's always a risk element involved. Hence, careful planning is very much important. If we talk about environmental impacts, if the event management company does not take care, then there is a lot of mess which is left around after the event, post event. This leads to environmental hazards. There are certain use of plastics and flexes which contribute to environmental pollution. Okay, so it is very necessary that if you want to leave a positive impact, you take care of your environmental issues and you raise an awareness of actually being conducive to the environment. Long term conservation plans are required. And if you see the negative impact, it leads again to traffic disruptions, there's noise pollution, there's a lot of wastage. Your resources are wasted if it is not well planned. The economic impact, as I said, is your direct and indirect expenses are you generate a lot of revenues by properties, by adding on values. Your trade fairs adds to the business. There is some constructions involved, especially in terms of if I talk about mega events like Olympics. But the negative impacts again is unequal distribution of wealth, inflated price of products during events. These are just a few examples that I'm giving you. I would like to discuss this in detail. As we were discussing about the various types of impacts, I would just take you back to this slide where I would like to discuss more about these kind of impacts. In case of Olympics, okay, for example, multiple sporting arenas and miles of commutations, that is your transport networks were laid, okay, and villages were set up. So, do you think this has a positive impact on the society or this had a negative impact on the society? Yes, of course, it did have a positive impact on the society. Similarly, if you look at the constructions of your tourist spots, say the Eiffel Tower, okay, it is undeniable symbol of sustainable event management. Today, that has become one of the major tourist spots, and you have your pomp-filled celebrations. It is paying back to the nation, right? Because there's so many tourists who go there, there's so many foreigners who visit there. It adds to the trade and business. In taxes, incomes have increased. It has become these kind of monuments and structures and tourist destination spots have become legacies in their own. However, I would like to mention about one of these 2008 Beijing events. Okay, it was kind of well planned. Yes, no debatable there. What went wrong in that event was that they did not take care of the environmental impact it could have had. That was one aspect which at those days people ignored, okay, and that led to a lot of pollution, and an overall environmental sensitivity was created in the local population, and a lot of negativism spread at that point of time. So this is the challenge which is faced in any major events that you organize. Any modern event can have a positive or a negative impact. These includes wastage, political fallouts, interruption of normal businesses, community resistance. For example, Swiss nationals now refuse to have these Olympic games because of the kind of disruption that happened in their lifestyles after that. Having said that, events vary from community to community, or region to region. You have folk festivals, you have bigger events like your FIFAs, the World Cups, the awards, and these provide opportunities for participation, for skill development, for volunteering. It creates a very good social, cultural, economical, and environmental development in that particular city. Okay, so it is very necessary that the way you present these ideas and the way you conceptualize, the way you deliver, should always have a positive impact. The success of a festival or an event, according to Mr. Douglas and Derrett in 2001, the success of an event or a festival is commonly measured in its economic contribution to the event stakeholders, community, and the region. And for decades, communities ranging from these metropolitan regions to the small town villages or cities have started building this as a brand. They try to attract visitors by staging these kind of well planned events of different sizes, of different natures, ranging from mega events like your World Expos, your Olympic Games, your FIFA World Cups, to regional music festivals, youth sports tournaments, youth fests, and today you have even biddings, you have staging, you have so many other events which have actually become a part and parcel of the event industry and the development of any society at large as well. I would also like to say that the social impact of planned events therefore sees the event as changing or affecting people's lives. As the world moves to an era, we want to make things bigger and better. Okay, and in today's world where we talk about globalization of events, globalization of industries, event industry plays a predominantly major role in getting the world together. These events are, after all, a platform of bringing people together. Okay, and of course, the whole idea is to generate profits, make money, generate revenues, and the sole objective of this is to impact the lives of the people and the society around us. If you look at your own areas, okay, by area I mean your regions, your cities, don't you think that there are events conducted everywhere? I mean, come a weekend and there's some or the other event which is there. Maybe most of the events have one objective, and that is making money. That is acceptable, right? After all, you are in industry. After all, you are into the business. So what is wrong in doing this? Economic growth, economical impact is of utmost importance. But at the same time, as event managers, it is your duty that you create a memorable and an impactful experience for all the attendees, for your client, for their guests, for people around you, and make sure that the objectives are met. That is when your contribution is highly valuable, and that is when you, as an event management company, can grow bigger and better. We don't just want to produce great events, right? We want to show the world that how powerful an event industry can be, or at least that is what at Shubkamna we aim to be, and that is what, as a treasurer at Karnataka Event Management Company, we tend to propagate, that yes, as an event industry, we are very powerful. We impact the life of people. We impact the economic growth of the industry and of the country. We contribute to the political developments. We contribute to the environmental developments of the particular area that we are working in. And by supporting, by having met the client's objectives, by delivering wonderful experiences, the wow factors, we are actually contributing to the psychological growth. We are impacting the psychological belief of people as well. So what is very important is that we practice what we preach. Okay, when we want to show people how powerful we are, do you want to show it in a positive way or a negative way? Of course, everything that we do has to have a positive impact. A wise economic had once said that if it is not measurable, it does not exist. Hence, what is very important is that after all, we are also a part of the society, right? So we need to watch closely on, are we actually contributing to make this place a happier and a lovable place? And this is basically to do with the environmental impact that we have on the society, okay? Because these days we talk a lot about global warming, we are talking a lot about wastages. We have become very conscious that we have renewable sources and non renewable sources. At any point of time, we should not waste any resource that is available to us. The job of the event planner is maximum utilization of the limited resources that we have. Save what can be saved, reuse what can be reused. Hence, we always propagate recycle, reuse. Okay, and as intermediaries, as the management companies have to plan these events according to the client requirements and their budgets, and prioritize the environment also. We need to gain the required traction. It is our responsibility that, all this is generally perceived, planned, and we have predicted all this in the beginning and made provisions for the same as well. Why should we be doing this as an event management company? You might wonder, are we really responsible for the environment? Of course, we are responsible for the environment because this is the gift for the generations to come as well. It impacts your brand value as a company. The personal values are enhanced when you say that yes, we care for our environment. Don't you think it creates a positive impact on the mind of your client as well? The desire to meet consumer demands is always the priority. The companies which incorporate environmental friendly motives also include the need to always have a competitive edge compared to the other event management companies, and it becomes necessary to educate and encourage others also, and indirectly you are actually doing that. That is what we had discussed in the previous one. There are certain barriers also when it comes to saying that yes, we are going to be an environmental friendly company. The barriers that we see are, probably our costs of production procurement may increase. We have limited control within certain venues, and if the particular elements are not available, then we get a little hand stuck there. What we can do is, when we are engaging with vendors, set your motive right. Okay, yes, we are going to consider the environmental, we are going to ensure recycling, we need to advertise ourselves in a manner so that our negative impact of economic of the environmental impacts, the negativity goes away, fades away. What we need to understand is there's no planet B. We all stay on planet Earth, and this is our home. And we need to change our ways in long, and it's kind of long overdue, right? How can we achieve this? Is by the way we run our events. There are small changes that is recommended from our end, and that we need to set in as an example. For example, I'll just give you one example of what we do. Apart from the normal weddings, we've always heard, right? Big fat Indian weddings. Yeah, nowadays we have started promoting zero waste weddings. I'm not too sure how many of you all have heard. So everything that we use there is, they are going to be plastic free. They are going to be recyclable elements that we use. We ensure zero wastage in all our elements. We take care of cleaning the property immediately after that in such a manner that there is zero wastes. Okay, and we need to create spaces for different conversations. Okay, bring people with shared interests. It is all about creating an education, creating an awareness in the minds of the people. Okay, and look beyond the schedules and start working so that you actually leave a positive impact. Having said that, I would just like you to check that, can you recall any activity or an event that has had a socially positive impact on you? Likewise, can you recall any event or activity that had an economical impact on you or on your society? Were you able to contribute in any manner? I hope you all are just making notes of these points and ponder upon them, because At any point of time in your life, you would have attended some or the other functions. So, this is just a time to recall whether these events, these celebrations left any impact on you. Can you recall any event or activity which had a political impact on you or your society? What do we mean by political impact? Of course, political impact refers to the rallies that you attend and any decisions or any decisions that have impacted your life, which leaves a political ambition in you. We've discussed environmental impact a lot in length. So, can you recall any event or activity that had an environmental impact? Good or bad, positive, negative, done by somebody, not done by somebody? You can always make a note of it. Similarly, psychological impact. As I mentioned, psychological impact is the sense of achievement, sense of fulfillment. Did you meet the objective? Were you able to achieve what was in your mind? Were you happy at the end of the day? Was your client happy with what was done? This leaves a psychological impact. So, can you recall any event or activity that had a psychological impact on you? Once we've discussed about the impacts, we need to understand what could be the steps to maximize the positive impact. None of us would want to leave a negative impact, right? It is going to affect you as a business model, and also it's not going to. It will have a negative psychological impact on you as well. So it is very important that as best event managers, you possess the right skills and setups to achieve and maximize the positive impact. So, first of all you need to do is identify what is the possible impact that can be. If it is a wedding, what are the kind of impacts that can be? A social impact, cultural and religious impact by following the traditions. Okay. And then, of course, there's an economical impact in that as well because, again, money is involved. There's an environmental impact if you're reducing your wastages. There is a psychological impact as you are actually contributing to the satisfaction of people involved in this particular wedding. Monitor the impact such that it remains positive. When you are in an event, pre event, during the event, and post event, you have to ensure that you always are leaving a positive impact. This can be done by monitoring each and every activity that is being done, making changes as and when it is required. Manage the event such that even the post event is leaving a positive impact on you. By equipping yourself with these kind of techniques and the skills and insights, you can organize an event that is actually delivering positivity in the community, thus impacting more than ever the present and the future of the event industry. And this will open doors to a lot of career opportunities across the globe. And it is very necessary that, irrespective of the size of the event, you manage the content in a manner such that people can remember and you bring about the desired changes in the society, be it at a political, a cultural, or a social level. Have checkpoints in place. This will help you in taking care of everything. Okay. And what is very important is that in any event, you are actually contributing to the lifestyle of that particular community. You're utilizing certain resources. And once there is satisfaction, you are creating a brand image and customer loyalty as well towards you. Hence, look beyond the schedules, look beyond well beings. The successful of a festival is measured only by the contribution that you can have as an event stakeholder. I hope this was very clear to you. And just a brief of a recap of what we have learned. In the previous session, we had learned about the characteristics and we recalled a few characteristics in today's session. We also realized or learned a little about the impact that we as an industry can have on the society, be it cultural, social, economical, political, and environmental impacts. We have understood the need of having a good event experience because that is how it adds value to you as a brand and increases and enhances your business model. I would like to end, as always, with one positive quote which says, "Event always connect people. It breeds innovation, it builds communities, and events spark changes. Hence, it is very necessary that we contribute in a manner such that we are contributing to the society as well." I would like you to write one event that you would like to plan which can have a positive impact. Ideate and write about one event that could leave a positive impact on our environment as well. In case you have any doubts, you may write to me at anitamakharia@gmail.com. Thank you so very much, and I hope you found this session very, very insightful. Looking forward to many more sessions and Shubkamnae for all the days to come. Thank you so much.